we're out of focus.
I wonder why.
It's having a hard time focusing, it looks like. It's shutting. Windows is shutting down.
Why is Windows shutting down?
Because I told it to restart a long time ago.
Okay.
Two grumpy people with a special P.S.A.
And today we're talking about frauds,
Scams,
rip-offs,
flim-flams,
cheats,
jokes,
BS,
ways to lose your money,
bad things that can happen.
fraud.
Okay. So one of the reasons that I think when we were doing research for this story,
Yeah.
these stories,
The story's
we
here.
found it so easy was because pretty much any scam or fraud that you can think of sooner or later is going to involve the name Disney.
Eventually.
Which makes it sound like Disney is fraudulent somehow. But in this case, that's not what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about people who either are trying to rip off Disney itself, which there's a lot of, or people trying to rip off Disney guests.
Right.
Those like you and us.
Right. Or people who would like to be Disney guests, but because of the scam,
No longer can.
Exactly. One of the things I was thinking about, it just kind of struck me when we were getting ready for this shoot, was that one reason I think that Disney comes up so often in these scams is that it has this sort of halo effect around the name. Disney is magical, right?
Pretty big name, too.
Yeah. So, well, I think the reason that Flim-Flam artists find it so convenient to use is because they know as soon as you mention the word Disney, right, then the last thing you're thinking of is, is this person trying to rip me off?
Yeah, you're thinking, okay, they know what they're doing.
Yeah. And so your mind instantly goes to, it's magical, it's great, we're going to go there, we're going to have a great vacation, ride the rides, see parades, fireworks, Mickey Mouse, Walt Disney.
Sometimes you forget the golden rule of if it's too good to be true, it might be.
Exactly. And so I think that they are actually relying on that magical halo effect that goes with the Disney name. A lot of these scams, though, apply to other companies too, and other big venues. A lot of them, as I was doing research, they mostly mention Disney, but then you'll hear other names mentioned in there too.
Any big company, especially one that draws as much tourists and as much crowds and public as a place like Disney or even Universal, will tend to draw this kind of stuff.
Exactly. And if it gets to be too well known that it's going on with the Disney, then they'll switch for a little while to another company, and then they'll come right back. So you tasked me to do some research, and I did some research. I think I should start off with the Facebook scams.
Oh yes, these ones are popping up everywhere.
I think they affect more people than any of the other scams.
Well, it has a combination of the Walt Disney Company and Facebook, the biggest social media outlet right now.
Almost everyone uses Facebook. Old grannies use it.
Everyone that's over the age of 13 is likely on there.
Yeah, pretty much. And a lot of people on Facebook are not really aware. Even though they've talked about this a million times, if I say the word like farming to you, do you even know what that means? I think it's been covered almost to death, and yet it's amazing to me how even a lot of my friends are still falling for it.
So a like farming is where you pay someone and they give you a whole bunch of likes, or?
That's the ideal. If you think about it, right, if you're an online business, what you really, really want is everybody talking about your product on social media or wherever, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to do anything you can to get people to see your website. Well, if you're a legitimate business, you're going to be going out there finding stories, posting pictures of your business and all the great things that you're doing, your products and so forth. But if you're not such a legitimate business, there are other ways to get those likes. And
basically pay for them.
Exactly. And what they do is they set up these pages to get likes, and then once they get enough likes and shares and so forth, enough traffic on them, so the statistics look good, they sell the page to another company. Then it's taking some unknown product or person or service. Say I want to sell my book, everybody knows my book did not sell. Okay, so if I really, really wanted a great page for my book so that everybody would see my book, I would buy one of these sites that someone else has already got like 1 million likes and shares with, right? I just remove whatever content they had on there. I stick my book on there. Suddenly, to all the search engines,
Your
it
book
looks
now
like
pops
I
up.
have had huge numbers on my page. So it's going to pop up in all the search engines, and anytime anybody checks on it, they go, is this really getting that much attention? Oh my goodness, they got 6 million likes. So it's a rip-off way to get to the top of those charts and searches without actually doing the hard work to actually earn all those likes and shares and so forth. But
This is in the gray area.
right, what the real problem is the way they get those likes and shares in the first place.
Okay.
And that is, they're doing, the most popular one now, it seems like, is the free giveaway of the Disney trip.
Uh-oh.
And you'll see, I found dozens and dozens of examples. In fact, one website in particular, Consumer Reports, has done like 3 stories on this, and each time it's a new page that is cropped up and gotten lots of likes and shares with pretty much the exact same story, just a new picture.
Yeah, and so anyone who often follows Walt Disney Company, goes to their website a lot, goes to their Facebook page like we do,
Yeah.
it might pop up alongside all the legitimate stuff, and you may not be able to tell the difference between, hey, look, this giveaway, if you click here, versus this is not
Right.
actually
And when they create the page, they create a banner across the top, just like you would, that says Disney Parks, and it has like a big picture of Disney balloons or Mickey Mouse or something on it. And it has the little Disney logo off to the side, so at a quick glance, okay, this is Disney's Facebook page.
Uh-oh.
And they're having some kind of giveaway. And what it says is, share and like this page to win. And you're going to win you're going to win a trip to Disney World. The one that I saw was a trip to Disney World that they were giving away 50 goodie bags. Each one contained free tickets to Disney World, plus airfare, and $5,000 cash.
Wow. I mean, I want to win that.
All you gotta do is like and share, buddy. Just like and share, you know.
So and then wait 3,600,000 weeks and maybe
And never get your prize.
Aw.
No. Well, yeah, exactly. You're gonna like it and share it, thinking, oh boy, I'm gonna win a trip. What's worse is now your friends see it, right? Because you've liked it, and whatever you've liked pops up in your friend's thing as your friend liked this, and so your friend is likely to be even less defensive because
you've already done it.
exactly. I mean, if you post something, I almost always just like it too because I trust you.
Yeah, of course.
And I have several family members and friends who, when they post things, I pretty much just trust them. I mean, occasionally they'll say I argue all the time, but actually a lot of times I just like it. Or occasionally I'll read it, click on it. But if it's for a contest, if they say it's a good contest, it's probably a good contest. Why wouldn't I trust them? Well, there's good reasons not to trust it. Now, if I told you about that particular giveaway, would you buy it?
Well, if you post it on Facebook, maybe.
Well, let me just describe it a little better. Okay, here's the picture. There are, 50 goodie bags, as they've said, lined up for you with some little tissue popping out of the top of the bags. And they say they're giving away 50 prizes to Disney World.
Well, there's
Just
your
for liking and sharing.
There's your first clue. Whenever the Walt Disney Company promotes itself or the parks promote themselves, they use their full proper name. Every time, it is always Walt Disney World. Everyone like you and I usually just say Disney World or whatever else,
Exactly.
or even WDW. But official posts always use the full moniker of Walt Disney World.
Exactly. And that's one of the big giveaways. You know what? I would say there's one even bigger than that that comes off right away.
What I missed.
Your skeptical little alarm should have gone off. What did you say a minute ago about if it's too good to be true?
Probably is.
Probably is. Think about it. When has Disney ever offered 50 free trips to the Disney park for something so little as liking and sharing? Because I remember last Halloween, some of you may have done this too, I don't know. There was a huge contest for if you decorated your house for Halloween, you could
That's
take
right.
a picture and enter it, and then you could only enter like 3 times or something like that. And you had to be in different categories, so you couldn't even enter a whole bunch of times in one category, and you had to actually go out and decorate your house in Disney style, take a picture of it, and then be better than all the thousands of other people, and there were thousands of entrants. Not to mention all the people who are liking and sharing this site and looking at the pictures and liking and thumbing upping the pictures.
Yeah.
And how many trips did they give away?
One.
One. One grand prize. And then they gave away some lesser prizes like gift baskets to each person in each category. That's it. 50 trips plus $5,000 just for liking and sharing.
Including airfare, which isn't always common.
Yeah, come on. That's too good to be true. That should have set off your alarm bells. But, like I said, because it's Disney, it doesn't occur to you to go, who gives away 50 trips like that? That's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anyone's business interest to be giving away that many.
I don't see anyone doing that. I mean, that's craziness right there. You're lucky if they give away 1 or 2 trips. I mean.
Yeah, they might over the course of a year give away maybe that many, if that.
And usually when they give away things like that, it's through their partnerships with like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Citibank. All these different partnerships they have, so they work with their partners, so they're not funding the whole expense themselves.
Yeah, they might do 1 a year that's fully them, but even then, it's usually partnered.
Right, and it's in an attempt to get you to go to their webpage and look at their site, and that's one of the key things to look for in these Facebook scams. If you go to their page, you won't see a lot of posts saying, we've updated the park, we've updated our passes, come see the Disney summer or whatever whatever promotion they got going on at the same time. You know yourself, if you go to Disney's pages or you go to their Facebook page, there's always all these really highly polished, professional posts that they have
all
people specifically who that's their full-time job is to post about all the cool stuff going on at Disney on their Facebook page. And if you go to these scam Facebook pages, they're not going to have all of that because, they don't have a full-time person sitting there selling Disney. So anyway, I went to a whole bunch of different sites who had posted on this issue, and I want to mention some of them. As I said, Consumer Reports. Consumerist was one that did one. The Tech Report, there's a whole bunch of other ones that have reported on this. Snopes has done a report on it. There was one called Travel Pulse, which I had not heard of before, but they did a long report on this, and there's been several others. I think even Cracked did an issue on this. I'm not positive, but I think
Wouldn't surprise me.
I know I've posted on the like farming before on my Pinterest page, but so what I did was I kind of culled as many of the suggestions they had for people to spot. And they're probably stuff that are kind of common sense, but as we say, common sense isn't. And when you're talking about Disney, you might not think about it. So one of the ways they said to spot was, and it was something that you picked up on right away, which I didn't until I read this.
Yes.
Was the misspelling of the name.
Yeah.
And you got to think, a lot of these people who are reading these, it's Disney World, so there's international people who follow it. They may not pick up on those slight changes as much as someone who's more familiar with it. So
there's also translation issues.
That's right.
You may not understand the English language quite enough to know when something's not written correctly.
Well, why wouldn't it be Walt Disney's World?
That makes sense to me.
So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. So they're pretty slick about getting away with stuff like that. This one is one I thought of almost immediately, but maybe some people don't. Disney's site has the best photographers. I mean,
this is true.
Beautiful, slick, high-quality photographs. They do not use stock images.
They create the stock images.
And they don't put their stock images on stock image sites for sale.
No.
So, one of the things that was suggested to do, and it makes good sense, is to click on the image, right-click on it. There's a little menu that comes up, and just select Google search for that image. And what happens is, if that image comes up in several other pages selling stuff, that's probably not Disney's image.
Yeah.
One thing is they've stolen images from Etsy quite a bit, or Pinterest. So they'll go on someone's page, they've made Disney goodie bags and put them out on their little table or whatever, taken a picture, this was my daughter's birthday or whatever.
And of course, look, here we go, got a picture of goodie bags ready to go.
There it goes, scam artists. And so they don't even have the freaking bags. They didn't even go that far. They just took a picture offline and stuck it on their page. But you got to think about it. If you see a picture on there and it does not look like a really high quality, professional, slick picture, but half the time for these Disney contests, I know the one we entered, they had like the Disney princess from the park was there handing a gift to the little girl actress in front of Cinderella's castle.
Yeah, those
I mean-
those are images you don't get.
Yeah, you don't get that. The other thing to look out for is they'll steal the pictures right off Disney's webpage.
Yes.
So you will actually find those images on Disney's webpage. One of the things you can do also though is look for dates.
Another thought is a lot of times if they're showing a picture that links to a contest, 9 times out of 10, the picture will have the contest name in it somewhere.
Yeah.
And so if it's just a generic picture of balloons or goodie bags,
Yeah, I'd be
that's
wary.
probably not them doing an official thing.
I would definitely be wary of that one.
It'll more than likely either be the logo for the contest or whatever it is, usually a contest, and it will, or it will have actual Disney characters in the image.
Yeah.
9
Or it'll
times
be
out of
shot
10.
right there in the park, so you'll see Cinderella's castle in the background, or you'll see
Yeah.
the Epcot ball or whatever. So, yeah. What else they have? Oh, over-promising. So that's what we were talking about.
Oh,
It's
yes.
too good to be true. They promise ridiculous prizes because they don't have to ever worry about actually paying for any of them.
Yeah.
So they'll promise you, an all expenses paid airfare from anywhere in the world. Most companies don't do that. Most companies will limit out within the continental U.S. only or something like that.
And 99% of the time, it'll also say in fine print somewhere, only value up to
Up to a
X
certain
amount of dollars.
right? Or it'll say, from a major airline carrier. So you've got to get from Podunk, Kentucky to, Tallahassee or wherever
Yeah.
you're going to catch your airplane from, and then they'll pay. So, over-promising is a big one. If it just sounds like, oh my gosh, this is like winning the Irish lottery or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one that sometimes might get you on the same line as that is maybe if it's just a little bit vague on the details. A lot of times with Disney trips, they'll say specifically the whens and the wheres and what you'll likely be staying in.
Oh yeah.
But these ones will just say, oh, anything, anywhere,
Right,
whatever.
they'll say, vacation for 4 during our non-blackout dates with a stay at one of our moderate price resorts. They're very specific usually,
Yeah.
They're going to let you know, you're not staying at the Swan and Dolphin on our dime, sweetie.
No.
Unless they're giving away the castle suite or something. And that's one person a year. Another thing that they point out, of course, we said the pages with no other entry. If you go to the Facebook page and there's no other entry.
If
That's
there's
a
no
sure
entry
sign of
within
like
at least
fun.
24 hours,
Yeah.
guaranteed not them.
There are some Facebook gives. Now, some of you who are more technologically savvy than I am, or who pay attention to such things a lot more than I do, probably know more about the Facebook gives. But there are things like looking for the wrong business descriptor. One of them they pointed out. The page said Disney in big letters, but if you looked over in the little where it describes what kind of business you are, because I know on mine it specifically says
yeah, I know what
candy,
you mean.
right?
Now.
It says food distributor or something. I forget exactly what mine says, but something like that. And one of theirs said travel. Another one said like paper industry. I don't think Disney's a paper industry, and they're not a travel industry. It's very specific what they are. They are an amusement park, and it says so on their page.
Yes.
So, or it might be the media company or something. But if you look there and it says something vague, or it just says something completely opposite of what Disney is, that's a big pay. And then there are some others that people are aware of. Things like looking to see the little verified check.
Yes, whenever possible.
So that's one
If
thing
that's
you can
there,
look
that's
for.
good.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
I'll pause you right there.
Go ahead.
If you see any of these, try looking on other social media, see if that exact same one pops up. If it's the same one, maybe it's more likely. Because if they're going to post about any kind of a deal, it's not going to just be on Facebook. It's going to be on Twitter. It's going to be on Instagram.
Yes.
It's going to be on Pinterest. It's going to be everywhere that they have. Or you
Yeah.
can just go to their website. Usually it's on the homepage.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, that one that we did for Halloween, you entered either on
Twitter.
one page or on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. One of the things that they pointed out is look at the domain names. Now, we've been told that as long as we've been computing, folks, it hasn't changed. You need to look at the domain name. If it says .uk and it's supposed to be Disney World doesn't operate out of the UK. Why would they? Okay, that doesn't make sense. So Disney sites all end in like .go, .com.
Or they start .go.
Right, it says Disney, like Disney World says Disney World, .disney, .go, .com. any contest that they post on their Facebook page, there's going to be a link on there somewhere, like a bit.ly link or something, linking you back to
the actual page for the contest or whatever.
Yes. It's never going to be just on Facebook. That's just not going to happen with Disney. Okay, check to see if it's not affiliated with one of their partners. I mean, there are a lot of Facebook contests, I'm not going to say there aren't, and Twitter contests that their various partners do. And legitimate businesses do give away contests to Disney sometimes.
This is true. This is This does happen. Walmart will give away sometimes, or any other businesses. Right. Local travel agents will sometimes do it.
Doesn't give away other branded merchandise such as iPads or Nintendos.
Yes. Yeah,
Again, when you talk about the over-promising, a lot of them are saying, oh, you get a free iPad and a trip to Disney. Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely, because Disney is not trying to sell somebody else's brand. If they do these big partnerships together, it's really widely advertised that they've formed a new partnership, and anything coming out of there is going to come directly from their major company. If the same page, the same contest is giving away Universal, or Six Flags, or Dolly World, or Legoland, that's not going to be Disney. Disney does not give away their competitors' tickets. It's not going to happen. And a lot of these websites will do exactly that. In fact, you'll go to the same page, there'll be one for Disney, and right below it will be one for Universal. Never going to happen.
No.
Okay, so don't fall for it.
They're not going to be like that, no.
Let's see, there's only a couple more. A huge one that I didn't even think of at the time, but yet, yeah, that should be a big red flag. Legal disclaimers and the click to agree with the toss things. Disney's huge on the legal.
Yeah, they are good at the legalese.
So if you go on a website and they say, just click and like and we'll register you in this not happening.
If there isn't even one sentence written in teeny tiny print on that thing, it's probably not legit.
So that was the probably least egregious example of the scams and frauds that we found online. So that's telling you folks it's going to get
depressing. The most widespread one too.
It's going to get pretty depressing from here on.